All right. So, um, Allison, what attracted you to wanting to do the 30-day superfood transformation? What was going on for you before that?
Sure. So a couple of things. One is after my mother passed away, I had gained like more weight. Obviously, there's like the weight of kids and getting older. But after my mom passed away, it just didn't, health just wasn't a priority anymore. And I've got a couple of kids that require a little extra attention than some other children, and so all those things together, I kind of fell off the to-do list, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
um, and I was on the verge of having weight loss surgery, and I really was hoping that I could avoid that. And so when Annie called and said, "Hey, I've been doing this thing, it's been really successful, do you want to try it?" I knew that having the support of some friends to do it with, and just all the tools that come with the program, just seemed like a really good option for me.
Great. Yeah. And then there's Annie being like, come on in.
Yeah. And it's been great. Like any of those times where I'm just like, oh, like I'm having a hard time, I can just text the ladies, and you get good feedback right away. And so it's been really helpful.
And you've had a lot of group support with your pod. So that's super helpful with like keeping up and staying on track and staying accountable. Good. Awesome. So what do you feel like, Allison? What do you feel like opened up for you during after the superfoods or during it? What opened up for you? What allowed
Yeah,
more
I
in?
mean, there's two things. One, I realized that food is delicious, right? Like it sounds really silly, but when you get used to like eating what your kids eat, or when you're eating like, chicken nuggets, or like just like really just not the best choices, it doesn't actually taste very good. But you're just so used to like eating on
Mhm.
the go and not really eating mindfully, um, that really good food is just delicious. It
Mhm.
seems kind of silly. And the other big thing for me was that I really can actually make a change and have it be a positive thing, have it not be about restriction or all the things that I can't eat or feeling like I'm getting into a smaller box. It
Mhm.
almost feels like you're in a bigger box, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It opened up like just more of a different part of your world and creativity, possibly, right? With just
Yeah.
recipes and how this can be fun.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun. I mean, so fun that, I was cooking for my husband, and so he was eating the same thing. He's like, well, this is pretty good. I could do this. So he's going to start, I think tomorrow is his first day. So, like
All
the
right.
clan is growing by the day. Thankfully,
Yeah.
the clan is growing and not us. So that's good.
And have you noticed too, all of you, have you noticed just like the energy that this brings in? Because people do ask you, what are you doing? How are you managing this winter funk and COVID? And then they see you as a walking example of just a shift that you've taken internally. Michelle, how do you feel? What are your biggest takeaways from just having done it? Is like with your energy, your sleep, creativity? What else? Like, what has come up like the most for you?
Um, well, I definitely have more energy. I wouldn't say more energy, but I'm not as lethargic in the morning, which is weird because I normally have to have like 2 or 3 cups of coffee. And I quit caffeine the day I started this. I switched to tea, and just being able to wake up and feeling refreshed is really a positive thing for me because, like I said, I welcome the morning,
Yeah,
sometimes too long. So it's been nice to be able to get up and just feel like I can start doing things.
great. That's good. And then you all have children, right? Yes. So how do you feel as though, and whoever wishes to speak, how do you feel that that's been like, Annie mentioned this in a previous section of just like the role modeling for your family and also like new healthy habits without being like tricked into them, you know? How's that been?
For me, it's been great because I do feed my family a lot of the meals that we're prepping. And, I may add chicken on it or fish. And they seem to really enjoy it. And I think it's great because I'm role modeling for probably my husband too, but my kids. So, and they all have discovered things that they probably never would have tried. And when they did, they said, this isn't that bad. So,
My son eats raw food anyway, so he'll eat, avocado, black bean, raw carrots, raw broccoli. So it's actually made it a little bit easier for me to cook for him because I'm just setting aside what I've already prepped
Yeah.
for him. But he's just such a picky eater that it's just, and in fact, 2 days this week I had him eat meat and he's like, come on, Mom. He's like, I had steak and chicken this week. Do I have to have more? So with him being just so picky, it's hard. It was hard at first, making something for my husband and myself, and then just putting his stuff aside. But then I just said, Rob, if you want to eat, you can have what I'm not going to short
Yeah.
order cook anymore.
Yeah.
And he's fine. I mean, we went vegan a few years back for several months, and it's fine. It's just different because I didn't really tell him about it. I just started.
Yeah.
So.
Great. How have you been feeling in your body when you're hiking or walking or just your normal routines?
Good.
Yeah.
I feel a little lighter.
Mhm.
I definitely have noticed my muscle tone getting better, which is nice.
Great.
Yeah.
So I've noticed I'm the kind of person who, after work, especially in the winter when it's dark, I tend not to have a lot of energy after work, and I like to just go right home. And to go to the grocery store when it's dark out in the evening is a big chore. And since I've started eating better and being mindful of what I'm putting in my body, I have a lot more energy in the evening. And, I can go home and load up some wood for the wood stove or
Yeah.
stop at the grocery store. So I've noticed a big difference with just my
Yeah, like
energy longer throughout the
Yeah.
day.
Like sustained energy rather than,
Right.
all right, I used all my light. I'm like toast now. It's more sustainable
Right.
for like a nice rhythm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question. So what do you feel is like your number one new habit that kind of snuck up on you that you didn't even realize it was being embedded that you just love now?
Oh. Yeah, for me, it is changing my caffeine routine in the morning. So I have no caffeine at all and haven't for the last 24 days. And it's been nice. It's been really nice. I've drinking caffeine since I was 16 years old. Every morning, coffee, have to have it. And it's funny because probably about a month or so, no, 2 months or so ago, I'm drinking coffee. I was like, this just doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the brand we bought or, we grind and brew, but I don't put anything in it, just milk. And it just didn't taste good. And so for me, when it started, I was like, I'm fine with just switching to tea. I thought I would get headaches and I didn't. And I thought I would just be moody and I wasn't. So it's nice not having the caffeine. And I haven't been drinking alcohol either, and it hasn't affected me or any positive or negative way. And the no sugar, we are in my house, sweet house, and at the end of the day, after dinner, at some point, we all have something a little sweet, and that too hasn't been an issue eliminating.
And with and the program too is really designed to bring you from acidity into alkalinity. So I tell people who usually are like, oh my gosh, no coffee. And I was that way. I haven't had a coffee since October 1. I have a decaf once in a while and I love the smell and all that. But other than that, it's like, because yeah, exactly. Naturally, you're taking these shakes, you're taking these amazing supplements, and your body is like not in line. It's aligning with more of an alkaline state. So the coffee just isn't as satisfying. And really it's like, do I need it? I'll just do
Yeah.
my herbal tea and my caffeine thing. And then also in that terms of anxiety too, we don't even realize how like the caffeine is such a drug. And when we don't have it, and when we do have it, it's like, and we haven't had it for so long, and it's such an intense effect. Not that it's a bad thing. I mean, coffee's great, but it's like, for the purpose of like this program and weaning that off, everyone is always really surprised at, I don't even really crave it, because your cravings really shift and your sweet tooth goes away. Really, you want a little sweet, but not like you used to, right? It's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So, and the reason why I started it with Annie was just, it's Vermont, it's winter, like 6 months of it, it's dark, and just wanted to like feel in my head clear and sane again. And not like, I don't want to say depressed, but maybe depressed, because that's just how I was feeling. It was like, we can't go anywhere, we can't, I'm looking at your palm trees and then absorbing it in because it's
Yeah.
normally we vacation 2-3 times in the winter and we haven't been able to, and as with everyone. And so it's just, that's the reason why I wanted to do it. Just a different mindset, just changing up my routine
Yeah,
completely.
and bringing the palm trees, that metaphor, inside,
Right. Yeah.
just really feeling that warmth and like clarity and glow in that deep inner way. And then it's, yeah, and you've got a great community to support you with this, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And this is my second go around, and I was so happy when Michelle and Allison and Denise, who couldn't be with us today, wanted to join in with me, because I probably would have had a really hard time staying on track, and I wasn't quite where I just felt like I needed more time of eating with the superfoods and the ultimate transformation, and the three of them joining in really helped me to do another 30, and we were exchanging meals.
I was going to say, I would recommend to anybody to find 2 or 3 people, because we've all prepared one dish and put it in 4 containers, and we've met every Sunday. And so there we have 4 meals already done, and we only made 1.
Yeah.
So it's been nice to
Try all new things and
try new, try other
have to
people's
be-
cookings, but just know that dinner is made for the week.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not have to be prepping so much, and
Yeah.
you're staying on track. And you don't have to, if you're hungry, you can just grab a meal and you're eating in 10 minutes and not prepping for
Right.
30 and then clean up for 30.
Yeah.
So that was really great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I highly recommend
Yeah.
getting some friends.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then we have a group text, and so we'll text each other and say, in fact, we already have a little congratulations, we made it date set up. So
Aw.
each week we're like, how you doing?
Mhm. Check in, and everyone's honest. No one beats each other up. You
Yeah.
have some days where you slip, and it's not a big deal.
Like
You
I
just-
had popcorn one night. It's like I just ate a whole bowl of popcorn,
Yeah. And
which
then you
isn't
can
the
like,
worst thing it's not the worst thing in the world, but
and then you can laugh and be like, oh, but like you've got that strong support. You've got a great base already that like, bloop, you just plop back in,
it
Yeah.
was really good. There was no butter, and I put nutritional yeast on top. So tasty.
Mhm.
Yes.
I gotta try that.
Super
Yeah.
tasty. Yum.
But
Aw.
yeah.
All right.